Hey, welcome on in, Bronco Nation. Welcome to the Boise State, Colorado State post-game show. I'm Nick Wade, your host. I'm an admin on Bronco Nation updates in the group and the platform. Let me fix something here really quick, and I am going solo today. Sam is having a good time with his family, so I am flying solo. Here we go. I like that one. We watched tonight for senior night. We watched the Broncos on the blue take care of Colorado State with a score of 49-21. Something that really excites me is that with this win on the blue, it ensures that the Broncos have that 28 season in a row with a winning. They finished 28 seasons in a row with a winning record, which leads all of CFB right now. If you're watching, thanks for joining us. I just made the walk home from the stadium. It got pretty brisk as it went along. Bronco Nation showed up in full force, which made me really happy. If you're watching from any of the platforms, just encourage you to make your comments or questions, and I'll feature those during this show. But thanks for joining us. I'm just going to kind of run down the stats here. We watched Boise State win Colorado State Rams 49-21, which improves Boise State's record overall. They are sitting at 7-4, and then they have a 5-2 record in the Mountain West. Currently, they are tied with in the standings in the conference. They're tied with New Mexico, who's sitting at 5-2. UNLV is at 5-2. I believe Fresno State is playing right now, and they're sitting at 4-2. So we really need to jump over Fresno State if we want to have a shot at the playing in the Mountain West Conference. There's still 2 games for Fresno State, also San Diego State. So kind of looking for those two to lose, especially Fresno State and perhaps Hawaii too. Looks like Hawaii did lose. Fresno State loses, we might have a chance to play in the Mountain West Conference Championship. But overall, let me see. We for the game stats, which are presented by KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM and 580 AM, and Blue Elevation. Blue Elevation is elevating Bronco sports through fans like you. Find out more, visit our nonprofit at blueelevation.org and catch myself on the Kevin Miller Show over the air or through the KIDO app every Friday morning at 7:30 Mountain Time. I did miss this Friday, so I think I might be joining him on Monday morning. So look for that. So we watched Boise. Have some patience with me. Usually Sam takes care of the stats, but in this game, we watched in the first half, Boise State really rushed. They really tallied the yards pretty well, and they really fulfilled one of the keys that I had for this game, is establishing that running game early. And this was the game for Sire Gaines to really showcase what he was doing, what he could do. We really needed him up the gut. They still stack the box, but it seems like his rushing style really accommodates some of that. But he did have some other. Potter was using a lot of those dives still up the gut, and he was able to kind of power through this defense and when we had our preview on Thursday, I wasn't really concerned about the front seven, so I did think that we would have some success. And Sire Gaines really exposed some of that weakness, and he was able to run up the middle, run some sweeps with confidence and at ease. So Boise State had 32 first downs to Colorado State's 17. Total yards, Boise State over was capitalized in the yardage game. They tallied 533 total yards to Colorado State's 332. Passing game, Max Cuthbert did exactly what I thought he was going to do. I thought that by establishing the run that he'd be able to open things up for him, and he went 22 for 34 with 239 yards. So pretty good for Max. And then which for the passing game averaged about 7.3 yards per pass to Colorado State's 6.4. We won the turnover battle 4-1, I believe. Yeah, 4-1. We only lost the one fumble, and we did have a miscue on the special teams. We lost an onside kick. I wasn't very happy about that. So in rushing, our defense really did well. But if you caught the preview, you knew that they were kind of without their star running back. He decided he was going to go in the transfer portal. So they're kind of relying on the other two backs who had minimal experience, and our defense only kept their rushing game to 39 yards, which is awesome. But on the flip side, their passing attack gained 293, and before this game, our defense, our secondary was keeping the offenses about 180 to 160. So you really kind of saw kind of the effects of not having a Marion McCoy back there. And there was that big play, that 91 yard play, that screen pass that went to the house, but they brought it back because of a personal foul by number 24, which helped the Broncos in that regard. But before that, the secondary was doing very well. So if you take that 90 yards off, or 70 yards, however many that put on their passing, that takes it down to about that 180, 186, 190 spot, to where our one of the nation's leading secondaries in Boise State has been all year. So not too bad, other than that screen pass that we allowed to go through. Penalties, we are up slight from last week. Last week we only had like 4 penalties. This week we saw 6 for 8, or this week we saw 9 for 95, which is actually it's a lot more than what you want. So some of those, were questionable. If I'm remembering correctly, a couple of those face masks, I'm not quite sure that Buck got the face mask, and then there was another one where the quarterback's helmet came off. I think that his helmet just kind of came off. On the flip side, Colorado State only had 6 penalties for 80 yards, which is high for the yardage. There was a couple personal fouls, so that's what kind of elevated that. Time of possession, we crushed them. Boise State had 36 36-55 to 23-05. So really dominated the time of possession. So overall, that really happy to see the offense kind of bounce back after 2 games where we only saw the offense score 7 points. When they got that second touchdown and they got the 14 points, I had people texting me saying, "Hey, you can come home now because Boise State's going to win." So really happy to see that some more points on the board, and yeah, and then Bronco Nation did show up and helped out. Maybe not getting the false starts that we usually do, but kind of raised some havoc and helped our. I did notice that on offense we had some up tempo play calls, which really helped. It caught the defense on their heels, and that's when Dylan Riley and Sire Gaines were able to capitalize on that and hit those holes really fast while the defense was trying to maneuver and get going. If you have any comments, what do you think about the game? What did you think about some of those penalties? They were really questionable. Did you go to the game? Are you driving home from the game and listening to us right now? Give us a shout out in the comments, and we'll feature them here on the show. Let's see. We got Karen Chandler. She's giving us the love here, some stars and some blue and orange hearts. Yeah, I was really happy to get that win out of the way, because that really ensures that Boise State will finish with a winning record, which pushes that the nation's best streak to 28 seasons. So really happy about that. Really thought this was a great game for senior Zion Washington. I'm really impressed with how he ended his career on the blue. We were able to have him on a Blue Turf Talk in the preseason, and he really gave us some good insight here at Bronco Nation Updates about the sense of urgency that they had, and you could see that he had a sense of urgency. This was his last game on the blue, and I was really impressed with that. What did you guys think of who were the players of the game for you? I will let you guys know what our picks were later on in the show. Let's see. First, we got some comments here. We got Julie Krause. We watched from the comfort of our home. Glad to see a win. Well, it was starting to get a little chilly in there. I had my 2 sons with me, and we had the blankets out. Definitely had to get those out as it got later on into the game. Julie Krause says, "What is being said about the player that spat on our defender?" I really didn't actually see that while I was there. I just caught a clip as I was logging on here and looking in the Bronco Nation Updates group. I did see that. That's really low class. There's three things that that people, a man will make a man go, and one is spit in a man's face, right? That's a reason to go. 2 is talking about a man's mom, and 3 is talking about a man's spouse. So really glad to see that our guy was had this sense of emotional balance not to react to that. We got Casey Riley. He chimed in. Ref scored 2 touchdowns for Colorado State. Horrible job by entire officiating team. Our boys truly overcame tonight. Way to go, Boise. Like I said, there were some really questionable calls. And I normally don't. I normally don't play the ref game. I think that any good team can overcome some bad calls, and that's what our fellows did today. But I think this show is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. Like I said, I just got back, and I know that probably people are chomping at the bit to get into the group, and I'll have to open the posting back up. So let's go ahead and go to our players of the game. Let's see here. Which one is this one? Go here. Our pick for offensive player of the game is Loretta's Music Studio Creations and Wreaths, making music and crafts together. Find out how to contact Loretta Dorn for all your music and craft needs at bronconationupdates.com/directory. They are on their directory. Your Loretta's Music Studio Creations and Wreaths player of the game is Sire Gaines, who had a crafty game with 149 yards, 2 touchdowns with 6.8 yards per carry. That's your Loretta Music Studio and Creations and Wreaths offensive player of the game. And then our defensive player of the game, this was a toss-up. This could have been between Jeremiah Irby, who got the 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery, but really I thought it was it was Zion Washington, who was really the star of the show. Your Christine Assine's local real estate, giving home buyers and sellers professional, responsive, and attentive real estate service. Visit localrealestate.com, LOKEL, for more information. Christine has all your real estate needs covered, just like Zion Washington did tonight. He covered the competition with 10 tackles, 9 of those solo, 2 sacks, and 1 interception. Excuse me. That's your Christine Assine's local LOKEL real estate defensive player of the game. So I really want to thank Bronco Nation this year. We had 6 home games and 6 sellouts, and really, from the get-go tonight, it was really loud. I know that the season hasn't worked out to the way that we expected it to. We had higher expectations, but really happy that Bronco Nation showed up for our seniors, and we're loud and we're proud, and really what we saw in the field was great senior leadership, and you can see it top down, starting with Latrell Caples, praying that he's all right. I think he may have experienced a concussion, but that was kind of a scary moment. But he led the receivers, 7 receptions for 70 yards. Thought that the seniors definitely led, but they it took the whole team, the supporting cast, to win this for the seniors. Finish their career on the iconic blue in a great way. So everybody stepped up, especially on that defensive line. Only limiting Colorado State to 39 rushing yards. Excellent job. And then you saw this on the defensive end. You had Zion Washington leading with tackles, solo tackles, bringing in a couple sacks and an interception. You had Jeremiah Irby, also a senior, with the 2 interceptions. And um, uh, and the fumble recovery. That worked out great for him. And then you had Buck Benefield. He's most likely going to be uh, declaring for the draft. So this may have been his last game on the blue, and he was up there in tackles as usual. He's been flying around and going buck wild all season long. So great for that. But I'm gonna keep this short and get back to work for you guys in the group and get those posts going. But really appreciate you watching tonight in this hyper short Bronco Nation updates post game. But again, your Broncos won 49-21. They now have an overall score of 7-4 with a 5-2 conference record. Still some games to go in the conference, so they may end up being able to have the opportunity to play for the championship. And if they do, then let's just continue to support them however we can. If you can make the trip next week to Logan, Utah, and support them against Utah State, that would be awesome. And then and who knows, maybe they do backpedal into a Mountain West championship, and then it's our our opportunity as a fan base to go travel and support them the best that we can, and make that because I'm not sure that we're going to be able to host a championship. It'd have to take a Titanic choke by San Diego State to allow that to happen. But anyway, there's still a little bit of hope, and I'm hoping that things land in the right place, that we get a chance. And with Boise State, if they get a chance, then they have the heart to do this again, and maybe there is a chance for a three-peat, but we'll see. But anyway, great game. We will come back next week and do a preview of the Utah State game. Again, you can watch, you can hear me on the Kevin Miller Show Monday morning, possibly at 7:30 on 107.5, 580 AM, or on the KIDO Talk Radio app. And look for our articles reviewing this game and previewing the next game, as well as on other sports too. We're active in all the sports. So go to BroncoNationUpdates.com and read the articles there. We have a search bar there. Just search whatever you want to, whatever you're looking for, and something will come up. And if you can, we're heading to that place where the transfer portal is opening up. You're going to start seeing some activity there. We have our nonprofit, blueelevation.org, that we can crowdsource to help the program put some money in the purse to help both keep our players and also attract new recruits out there. So that's always available. Again, there's never any pressure. It's just, if your heart's tugging you to go that direction, you can find that at blueelevation.org. Anyway, again, your Broncos won 49-21. They are 7-4, 5-2 in conference. Thanks for joining us again, and thanks for showing up to the game. Always bleed blue, guys, and always bring your fandom up to that championship level, because the guys and the gals are doing what they can on the field to bring championships. So as a fan, we can elevate our fandom to that caliber as well. Till next time, bleed blue, go Broncos.
Hey, if you're looking for more followers, clients, or customers, check out ServingBroncoNation.com and get your business added to the directory. When you purchase a tax-deductible plan, you are investing in Boise State and getting access to millions of views throughout the year on the directory and the Bronco Nation network.